What's up guys, it's Nacho and welcome back to our Football Impac video where we had a lot of shocking results this weekend in the Premier League, Bundesliga, La Liga and Serie A, and we're going to kick it off with the Premier League as we usually do. And the Premier League, the two big shocks were Arsenal, who got absolutely humiliated by Tottenham, even though I put a £25 bet on Arsenal winning. Last time I'm tipping Arsenal to win in our game, and last time I won a bet on Arsenal on winning a match because they always let you down. I don't know what it is, mentality or just lack of leaders or lack of anything really. So I'm never betting Arsenal to win our game ever again. But as a game, Tottenham with a better team. They should have won this 4-5, 6 or 7. The only reason why I didn't is because the likes of Lamela, the likes of Dele Alli just couldn't put the ball in the nets. It's like one of those days really. As for Arsenal, I don't know what Granit Xhaka does for Arsenal. He is literally the biggest disappointment I have ever seen. He literally is the worst defensive midfield player I have ever seen play defensive midfield because he doesn't get it. He's not a defensive midfielder. I've said this since day one. Arsenal don't have grafters in that midfield. And then he had an alright game, but again, he did nothing as well. And I feel sorry for Mkhitaryan in a big game away from home. He just didn't get any balls in the box. Yes, he had a couple of delivers in the box, but he just had one of those days. Ozil was bang average again, like he always is in big games. As for Aubameyang, I felt for him as well. He just didn't get the ball, he didn't get any service. He was playing wing, which I don't care. Aubameyang is not a winger. And then Lacazette, I've always felt for him at times because he's got the potential. He's had two big chances in the game and he missed them. I think his confidence is shot, and ever since Arsene Wenger brought in Aubameyang, he's definitely put Lacazette down the pecking order, which I felt sorry for him because he really does need it. Just give him it. Just play both of them up front. Why don't you just play two of them up front? Aubameyang, Ozil, Mkhitaryan and Lacazette. There's your front four. Find a way of putting them in the team. That would be taking Granit Xhaka out of the team and putting maybe Mkhitaryan and Ozil, putting maybe Mkhitaryan and Jack O'Shea in the midfield. Then go and do it. Do something different, Arsene Wenger, because right now this is the reason why the Wenger Applegate keeps going on every single week because you just tactically just don't get it. As for Tottenham, they were excellent, totally absurd. Harry Kane there has 101 goals and is 7th in the North London derby. I think only Adebayo, who I think scored more goals in North London derby, so he's just a world class finisher really, Harry Kane. But Tottenham deserve 1-0 win, and I think go 4th in the table. As for Arsenal, the only reason why they're going to finish in the top, the only reason why they're going to get Champions League next season is if they win the Europa League. The biggest shock was my team, Newcastle United, get a massive win against Manchester United. I did not see this coming. I thought if we even drawn this game, it felt like a win. Bro, we were unbelievable. Lascelles, who I am really thinking right now is England's best centre-back by a complete mile. If anybody thinks Smalling, Jones, Stones, all of them, no they're not. For me, Smalling was awful in this game. He done a dive, shoved the ball in, and then what do you know, Richie puts in the net. His first goal in the Premier League this season, and what a way to get your first goal against Manchester United. As for so many players in this game were excellent for Newcastle. Diame has been absolutely different class in the last 3 matches. I don't know what Rafa Benitez has given that dude because he was unbelievable. It was like watching Pogba for Newcastle. Diame, he was just absolutely, he was putting tackles in, he was challenging, he was just exceptional. I've always been one of his biggest critics. Well, you stepped it up, Diame, and I will tip my hat off to you because you've been excellent in the last couple matches. The likes of Jonjo Shelvey, who was man of the match and was by far and by the way the best player on the whole pitch from both teams. And if he keeps doing like this, I don't know, I have no question. He will not just be in the England squad, he could easily start for England because him and Jack Wilshere are I think the only 2 England midfield players who can put the ball forward and can help link play up because no one else, you can't tell me Jack Livermore is better than Jonjo Shelvey. I'm sorry, I'm not buying that. As for Man United, they were awful, they were terrible. Paul Pogba, he didn't look fit, having had an injury before the match. He didn't look fit, he just looked like a shadow of the player he was at the start of the season. And I've always kept saying this with Paul Pogba, he looks lost at that midfield Man United right now. He doesn't know where to bomb forward, doesn't know where to defend, doesn't know where to do what, he doesn't know what to do. And I felt for him because it reminds me of when Mkhitaryan was at Manchester United. He was lost. He didn't know what to do. And now he's on Arsenal and looks like to starting to get some form for Arsenal. I just think Paul Pogba looks lost. He just needs someone else in that midfield. Maybe Herrera, maybe just give Pogba a couple of weeks rest or something like that. He just needs maybe a week away from football and just focus and get your back and get maybe just recharge the batteries and get back again. He doesn't look the same. Lukaku had a poor game. Martial had a chance upon chance upon chance. He could have a hat-trick in that game, but again, couldn't put the ball in the net. Sanchez, who had a big chance in the second half, he should have scored it. But again, Man United were bang average. And Newcastle fully deserved the win. And also, the shout out to the goalkeeper for Newcastle, name is debut Dubravka. He was excellent too, made some quality saves. And if we keep playing like this, and we also got still money back in the team, they will be comfortably in the top. They will comfortably not relegated this season. They will comfortably finish maybe 13th, 17th, maybe 12th to 13th, maybe this season. But they should stay up, Newcastle, because they've got a world-class manager in Rafa Benitez. Manchester United have now got a fight in their hands to get second. Manchester City are now only 6 wins away from winning the Premier League title after they smashed Leicester City 5-1. Aguero scores 4, and Kevin De Bruyne is by far and away the best player in the Premier League. Maybe me, Liverpool fans may say Mohamed Salah, but for me, he's just different class, De Bruyne. I mean, he got 3 assists, and 2 of them are absolutely world class. I mean, the first one, he doesn't even need to he doesn't even need a touch. He doesn't even need to look up. He just puts the ball in, and Sterling scores. You can't teach that. That's just down to ability, and he's got it. The second one, the second assist was just sums up him, puts into Aguero, and Aguero scores. And the third one, simple again, puts into Aguero, and Aguero scores. Just give Aguero the ball, and he will fucking score. He got 4 in this game, and Aguero's fourth goal and Man City's 5th goal was absolutely sensational, even though Castro Schmeichel didn't have a great game. And you can totally see Leicester City just had to hold their hands up saying, we've just been beaten by the best team in the league and the team on the league. Leicester City, I think, will probably may just focus on the FA Cup next, I think it's this weekend. So they should focus on that, because they're going to be comfortably fine this season. They're not going to get relegated. Maybe 9th and 10th is where I think they're playing this season. But they had a really good run of form since Crocodile has been there. So they should be comfortably finishing where they are. And maybe a good FA Cup run should finish there. Maybe a good end of the season. As you said, they won the league. But can they do it in the Champions League? That I have to wait and see. Speaking of Mohamed Salah, he scored 1 and assist 1 as Liverpool pretty much got a routine 2-0 win against Southampton. Southampton were very poor in this game and looked like a team not playing for the manager. And I said this, and I say this again, why did they sack Claude Puel? I don't get it, I still don't get it. They got into the cup final and finished 8th last season. What more can you do at Southampton if you keep selling your best players? And well, that's where they are right now. It looks like for me, if they don't get Charlie Austin scoring goals and get him back in the team, I do think they will go down this year, Southampton, because they just do not have a goal scorer on that team. And I've said this for all the teams in the bottom of the Premier League, if you don't put the ball in the net, you're not staying up. And for me, the 3 teams right now don't have a goal scorer, and that's the reason why you're in the bottom 3. As for Liverpool, Salah scores again, and he's just right now the best signing I've ever seen come to the Premier League and adapt to the Premier League like that. He's just pretty much came in like a duck to water, and he's just pretty much, you know what? I'm going to be the main man for Liverpool. I'm going to score the goals. I'm going to make the assists, and he's just sensational. I want to give a shout out to Firmino as well. He was excellent too. His little back heel flick was just sensational. That for me, I love watching Liverpool. Apart from Man City, they're the second best team to watch in the Premier League. Their football is just another level. I love watching their football. Yes, you could say that the back are not great, but Van Dijk, I think, will make it disability, make it more better. I still think they need a goalkeeper, and I still think they need a centre back, but definitely Van Dijk gives them a major presence in that defence. Southampton need maybe a new manager if they have any chance of staying up. Liverpool are only now a couple of points by Manchester United. Who would have said that at the start of the season? Huddersfield get a 4-1 win against Bournemouth, and this result came out of the blue because Bournemouth have won 3 in a row. They beat Arsenal, they beat Chelsea, I forget who about the last game. And you think, okay, they're in form. Huddersfield haven't won a game in 8 matches. They haven't won a game since December. And then Bournemouth just thought, you know what, we're safe. We can just go out. You're not safe. Bournemouth are not safe, and they look like a team that were safe. They're not safe. They're only 5 points above the bottom 3, and they still have to play Newcastle United after the FA Cup fixtures. If they lose that match, Newcastle go above them in the table. They're not safe, Bournemouth, and I've said this from day one. They need to be careful what they wish for. And everybody keeps saying, Bournemouth, they're going to be fine. No, they're not, because they still got the same defence that lie on the Championship. That's the reason why Bournemouth are still fighting for relegation, because they still rely on the same players that got out of the Championship. That, for me, is not good enough. I like Eddie Howe as a manager. I think he's a great manager. I still think there's some things he may need to work on, but massive win for Huddersfield and a massive win for David Wagner's team, because they fully deserved. And Pritchard was excellent in the game. I thought he was man of the match. He contributed. He got a goal, got an assist, and also got the penalty at the end. So he's deserved it. He was excellent, and a good win for Huddersfield to get right at the bottom three. And last game is Everton get a must win against Crystal Palace. They win 3-1. Palace, without Wilfried Zaha, have not won a match when he's gone and he's injured. So that's really pretty much you're laying your eggs in one basket or one player. That's not really great. But as for Everton, they needed a big result because they were absolutely rubbish against Arsenal last week, and they did get it, and they were excellent. And I want to give a mention to Sigurdsson. I think he's definitely, since the big money move from Swansea, he looks like the player that we all thought he would be for Everton. He's scoring goals, he's creating goals, he's making goals, and I think if Everton want to push for the likes of maybe Leicester and the Burnley this season to get 7th, he's going to be vital for that. Also, Wayne Rooney had a really good game, and he brings something different to that midfield. They should stay up now, Everton. I think they got enough points. Maybe they just need another win just to make sure they're safe. As for Crystal Palace, if Wilfried Zaha is out for a month or maybe more, I don't see them staying up because there's just no goals in that team. Christian Benteke absolutely looks awful. I don't know what's happened to him since the tournament. I don't know what's happened to him in the last couple of seasons. He just doesn't look the player. I don't think he's good enough anymore, and I still think they're relying so much on the guy saying deadline day. I've never heard of him. So big suspicion on Wilfried Zaha, but they expect Cabaye and Townsend to step up, but they haven't. So that's not good for Crystal Palace. So guys, look at the Premier League table where Manchester City are only 6 points away from the title, like I said, but they pretty much won the league. The title has been dead for some time now. Manchester United, Liverpool, Chelsea, and Tottenham are fighting for those who will finish top 4 and 2nd. Arsenal look like to be comfortable finishing 2nd this year. Burnley, Leicester, Everton and Bournemouth are in the top 10. At the bottom, it's Watford, West Ham, Newcastle jump up to 13th. Brighton with a good point get up to 14th. Palace, Swansea with a massive win for them are now in the relegation zone. Same as Huddersfield at the bottom, and in the relegation are Southampton, Stoke and West Brom. So guys, then the Premier League. Let's look at what happened this week in the Bundesliga. And in the Bundesliga, Bayern Munich showed their superiority yet again. They went 2-1. Lewandowski has now scored 10 goals in 10 at home. I think he's now up there with Gerd Müller's record, so he probably could break that as well in the next game. Schalke played well in this game. Franco de Santos scored a really good goal. Goretzka actually could have gotten really good. He's going to Bayern Munich in the summer, so they played really well, Schalke. They just did not have maybe like a Lewandowski, maybe a Robin or something that can do something or nothing. But they were excellent, Schalke. I thought they played really well. Bayern Munich superiority shows. Thomas Müller got the second goal, which wrapped up all 3 points. And they're now, I think, 18 points clear in the top of the Bundesliga. They will win an our league title. But can they do it in the Champions League in the Besiktas? Because Besiktas are playing well recently, so that's going to be a really difficult game for Bayern Munich in the Champions League next week. But it's really going to be interesting to see how they do that. But Bayern Munich should win the league by counter. Borussia Dortmund make it 2 wins from Batshuayi makes it 3 goals in 2 matches. He gets one. He gets the second goal in this game as well. Dortmund took the lead. Hamburg had chances, but Hamburg again just do not know how to score goals. And I said this from day one: please go down. For the love of God, for everyone's sake, please get relegated, because we're sick and tired of that clock ticking how many times you've seen in the Bundesliga. As for Dortmund, they were excellent. Batshuayi looks a different player than he was at Chelsea. And I said it, and I said it once, said it again. I said that would be a really good sign for Dortmund. He will bring the goals. He is a really good player. I like him as a player. He helps men play up. He scores goals. He makes goals. He does what a striker does. I think at Chelsea, maybe Antonio Conte want to play a different style. Maybe want to play a different way. And I get that, but Batshuayi just played their strengths. He played their strengths, he scores. And for me, I think he's a good striker, and I say when he went there, he will score goals, and Dortmund will finish second this season and will confidently finish top 4. Right now, they're third in the league, only 2 points. I think only 2 points or a point behind Leipzig. So they should stay. They should get top 4 now, Dortmund. But Hamburg look like precarious is not even a word. This team look like you're going to get relegated this season. Speaking of Leipzig, they went 2-0 against Augsburg, who played really well at the start of this match. They had really good chances, but Leipzig just had enough. Keita scored a really good free kick. He's now going to Liverpool in the summer, so he did wrap up the 3 points. They get a big win to get up to second. And I think they should finish now, maybe top 3 now, Leipzig. They've got the quality there. They just lack a bit of charisma in the midfield, maybe because Forsberg has not done it this season. But they should finish second this season. Augsburg had a fantastic run of form after beating, I think it was Frankfurt last weekend. So they're in a really good run of form. They just lack a little bit of depth in their squad. But I think if they get a Europa League spot this season, I think it's a really good season. Speaking of Frankfurt, they went 4-2 against rock bottom Cologne, and Cologne looked like precarious for them after what they played really well against Dortmund last game. If they played like that, they would stay up. This game, they were, I think, got to 1-1 from a penalty, and then it all caved in. They were those 6s and 7s defensively. But Frankfurt, again, like Augsburg, they've run a fantastic season, and if they continue this, they may be the outsiders for Champions League, because I think they are 4th at the minute. So they could easily get top 4 this year. Maybe if one of the big clubs like Leverkusen or one of them, I mean Schalke, have a dip in form, they could easily get 4th. But it's going to be interesting. As for Cologne, it does look very sort of, maybe not going to stay up, maybe they will stay up, type of feel to them. But the next 4 games for Cologne will decide their season, because then the next 4 games I think are against the bottom half teams. So they got big 4 games coming up. If they get any points, if they don't get any points from them games, I think they're down. And the last game is Werder Bremen getting a massive win against Wolfsburg, and a sort of 2 teams fighting for relegation this season. Massive win for Werder Bremen, which takes them out of the relegation playoff and puts Mainz in it, who lost this weekend. As for Wolfsburg, I thought they were okay. They're not okay. And the fact of the matter is, they've got big fixtures coming up. I look at their fixture list. They don't have easy fixtures. So they need points as soon as possible, or they could get to relegation play that they were last season and play some team in the Bundesliga 2nd division, and they could go down this year. But they really need to find wins from somewhere, or they could easily go down this year. So guys, let's look at the Bundesliga table with Bayern Munich top on 56 points. Then it's Leipzig, who are a point ahead of Dortmund, who are a point ahead of Frankfurt, and Frankfurt, who are a point ahead of Leverkusen. You get my drift where this is going. Then Schalke, then Augsburg, then Hoffenheim, Hanover, and Gladbach. Then at the bottom is Hertha, Freiburg, Wolfsburg, Stuttgart, Bremen, Mainz, Hamburg, and Cologne. That is your Bundesliga matches at 22 games. So guys, let's see what happened this weekend in La Liga. And in La Liga, Barcelona, who were absolutely awful in this match, didn't have a shot on target. I don't think I had a shot in the whole game. And the first half. That's how I tell you how bad they were. And I really felt sorry for Dembele. I just think him and Coutinho just does not work in that team. I've said it from day one. Where does Coutinho fit and where does Dembele fit? If you're going to play Dembele, play him in his best position. If you're going to play Coutinho, play him maybe in the midfield with Iniesta and Rakitic. It's sort of not really happening at the minute. And Messi, who didn't have a great game, he looked like maybe just one of those games really, but it wasn't that for Barcelona. I thought Getafe had they set up well. They don't see a lot of goals, Getafe, this season. I think they got the third best defensive record in La Liga, which is absolutely incredible to say the least. I think Atletico Madrid and Barcelona have a better defensive record than them. They've been excellent this season, but Getafe, and that's the reason why they will stay up this season, because they have really good defence. They can also chip in with goals as well, but as for Barcelona, it's not the end of the world. Yes, they drew against Espanyol last week. They drew this game. But the problem they have is Atletico Madrid keep winning, and they keep winning by a 1-0 scoreline. I think this is I don't know how many times they've won 1-0 this season, because I've lost count. They win 1-0. Griezmann scored the first goal in about 20 seconds, pretty much from kickoff really. Malaga half asleep as usual, and they look like maybe this is just, yeah, we're going to go down, so yeah, you have the goal really. Griezmann needed some confidence, needed to step up. He did in this game. He was excellent. But you expect when you're 1-0 up, go and kick for the second, go get the third, get the fourth. They should beat Malaga. They should whip the floor of Malaga. Just, I don't know what it is Atletico Madrid. When they 1-0 up, they sort of think, yeah, let them come on to us. You're the best team. You're second in the league. You're playing against a rock bottom Malaga team. You look like we're going to the second division of Spanish football. Go and win 4-5. But then the gap is now, I think, 7 or 8 points. It's going to be interesting because Barcelona still play Atletico Madrid and the Camp Nou. That's going to be interesting to watch. But if Atletico Madrid somehow win that game and Barcelona's form somehow dips, maybe we do have a title race in Spain after all. But just think Barcelona have enough to do. And our Madrid club is Real Madrid, who won 5-2 against Real Sociedad in a massive win for them to give them some belief going into the big game of their season against PSG in the Champions League. That game is now massive for them on Wednesday, and I think if somehow Real Madrid knocked out, let's say PSG do knock Real Madrid out, I'd be shocked if Zidane's still the manager, and I'd be shocked if half of that squad is still at Real Madrid next season. Also, Ronaldo did get a hat-trick in this game. Yes, you could say Real Sociedad defending were awful. Yes, Real Sociedad conceded 4 goals in the first half. That's true. But Real Madrid have their own defensive problems. They conceded 2 goals in this game, and 2 of the sloppiest goals you'll probably see this season from Real Madrid. And Real Madrid have now conceded 13 goals in 5 matches. And they've got Neymar, Mbappe and Cavani to deal with. I only see one outcome for me, and that's PSG, who I think will knock Real Madrid out. But I said it before and I said it again, Real Madrid on their day can beat any team. They can go and beat anyone. So be on the watch out for that. I think that's a really good match. I think it's definitely the Champions League title of the round. But can Real Madrid do the unthinkable and win 3 Champions Leagues in a row? It's going to be a tall order, but I just don't see that. But as for Real Sociedad, they need to be careful because they're sort of slipping into the mire of that relegation dogfight and need probably an hour win, maybe 2, to make sure they're safe. Valencia get back to winning ways after their sort of dip in form. They beat Levante 3-1 in the Valencian derby, and let's just say I think it's Muriel, whatever his name is. He was excellent in this game. I think he hit the bar in the post, hit the woodwork twice in this match. I think he got a penalty in the first half. I don't know. So in the second half, where they won 3-1, I think Zaza scored it. But again, Levante had chances upon chances upon chances, but again, the problem they have this season just can't put the ball in the net, and that's the reason why the problem that they have this season is because the other teams like Deportivo La Coruña and our teams are so bad that that's the reason why they're on the ball for at the minute. So you're sort of figuring maybe not, but they probably have enough to stay up, but they may not have enough to go down. It's going to be really tight down there. As for Valencia, big one for them to put them back to 3rd, because right now they were looking precarious to actually stay in the Champions League position. And last game is Eibar just can't stop winning. They're now only a handful of points behind the Champions League positions. So can they actually finish top 4 this year, Eibar? I mean, that would be an amazing stat, because last start of the season they were in the relegation zone, and I can see they had a managed 17 goal difference, and now somehow they're only a couple of points behind Sevilla, a couple of points behind Villarreal. So they've had a fantastic run of form at the second half of the season, and you have to say they totally deserve to be in the Europa League spot, because I think they got a better form than Sevilla. They thumped 5-1 last week, so they're in a really good run of form, and I think they could easily finish 5th. And also, Alves beat Villarreal 2-1. A good win for them to make sure they look like to be big of a gap there between them and the bottom of the table. Villarreal, big defeat for them. That's 2 defeats in a row now, and a look behind them and nothing from them. So guys, look at La Liga table where Barcelona top 59 points against Atletico Madrid, who are slowly but surely cutting that gap. Then is Valencia, who stay 3rd, Real Madrid, who are 4th. Then is Villarreal, Sevilla and Eibar, who are now only a couple of points behind Villarreal. Incredible. Then is Real Betis, Celta Vigo and Genoa, and the bottom is Getafe, Leganés, Athletic Bilbao, Real Sociedad, Espanyol, Alves, Levante, Las Palmas, Deportivo La Coruña and Malaga. That is your La Liga table after 23 matches. Now guys, let's move on to what happened this week in Serie A. In Serie A, Napoli played Lazio in what was the biggest game of Serie A this weekend, because Lazio were playing well this season and Napoli have been exceptional this season. And Lazio took the lead in this game thanks to a good header from one of the defenders. Then Napoli took it up to another gear. Callie Hunt scored a really good goal, and then he went to another gear. I know I think Malcolm scored one of the own goals, but then the fourth goal from Napoli is just sensational. If Man City scored that, if Barcelona scored that, the whole world will be talking about this. For me, Napoli are the best team to watch in Serie A this season. The football they play is amazing, and I think they're like the Man City of Serie A. The football is sensational. And the fourth goal, the ball, the flick, the flame, and the finish from Dries Mertens is just exquisite. And that's the reason why I love watching Napoli. I want Napoli to win the Serie A this year because I'm fed up Juventus winning it, and they're the best team to watch. And you want to see the best team who play the best football win the league, and not Juventus who somewhere keep scraping wins. Which they did this weekend with a 2-0 win against Fiorentina, which they weren't good in this game, but again, Juventus have the know-how of just winning games and winning, like the old lady would say, ugly matches. And that's what they've done. Bazecchi, who used to play with Fiorentina, scored a really good free kick, and Higuain, who loves scoring against Fiorentina, scores again in this game, and he's really good in form recently to make sure they're in the game, and make sure he's really good. He's been in really good form recently, Higuain, which they need to be when they play in Tottenham in the Champions League on Tuesday. So need to get the ball back in the team. He looks like he's coming back from injury, but they also got major injuries like Quadrado, and many others are being on the injury list, and also Patuidi. So they need to get them back fully fit, and it looks like maybe Patuidi's coming back to fully fit. He may actually start in that game against Tottenham, maybe not. But good win for Juventus, just to stay in touch with Napoli, who have been sensational. And that game between Napoli and Juventus coming up, I think in April, is going to define probably who wins Serie A. Inter Milan get the first win in 2018 thanks to a player who was unknown, who put him in the team, because Spalletti trusts young players. He was excellent. He scored the winning goal in this game, and I think he's the youngest ever I think in Serie A history. I think he's also the youngest scorer to ever play to ever score for Inter Milan. So he scored. They were excellent. And Icardi, who was not in this match, he's probably trying to get rest for the cup. He's fit for that, because that's probably what they're playing for now. For trying to maybe win a cup to maybe give the fans something really. But Inter Milan get the first win against, well, no disrespect, they're playing against a very poor team, and they should win that match, and they did. And now I think go up to third in the league. AC Milan win 4-0 against Spal. And Milan look like they're back to winning ways again after a debut two very simple goals really. It's like typical AC Milan, they just find a way of scratching the wins and doing well. But they won 4-0, they were excellent in this game. Spal, you can see too many goals, you're in the bottom three, and you're really struggling to win games. So it doesn't look good for them. But AC Milan look like to get a little bit of starting to get momentum going now, and I think maybe they could easily fight. It's going to be interesting between them, how Sampdoria and Atalanta compare. But they are nipping at the heels for 7th spot. Roma, who are up to 4th right now, who leapfrog Lazio on the table, thrashed Benevento 5-2. Benevento, who were leading this game, but Benevento do what Benevento love doing, conceding goals. They've now conceded I think they've conceded nearly 70 goals all season. That's the most. I think that's the most in Serie A history. They've now got the minus 41 goal difference, was the most after 4 matches, and the biggest one of all is they're averaging goals conceded 7 a game. That is incredible. And for me, how the hell did this team get promoted last season? I still don't know. As for Roma, good win for them, coming back from 1-0 down. And now, you definitely is a really good fight for who will finish third this year. Is it Inter, Lazio or Roma? Just think Sampdoria, AC Milan and Udinese. And maybe Torino got too much work to do to catch them teams. But it's going to be really good, just like it's for the Terriers, between Napoli and Juventus, as it is for the Champions League places between Lazio, Roma and Inter Milan. I'm looking forward to it. but I go out for Roma to go up to 4th in the league. And the last game is between Torino and Udinese, two teams that are sort of fighting for the last sort of Europa League spot with Sampdoria and AC Milan. Good win for Torino. I think they go above Udinese in the table, so that gives them a little bit of confidence booster. And also Belotti, who gets his first goal for quite a while now, so he needs to score the goals. And I think if he gets the goals for Torino, he could definitely get there, maybe 7th, maybe even 8th this season. I don't think they get a Europa League spot. I just think their offensive problems and the manager sort of doesn't really feel for them. So guys, look at the Serie A table where Napoli top it on 63 points, then Juventus who are only a point behind. Then Inter Milan up to 3rd, then Roma up to 4th, Lazio who were 3rd now down to 5th, then Sampdoria, AC Milan up to 7th above Atalanta, then it's Torino who move above Udinese, and Udinese down to 10th. And the bottom is Fiorentina, Genoa, Bologna, Cagliari, Sassuolo, Chievo, Crotone, Spal, Verona and Beneventuro, who are the worst team I have ever seen play in Serie A history. And that got me on to the last league Earth. And in the year PSG win 1-0, Neymar scores the goal and pretty much win that game and that big game. Now they can just focus on Real Madrid in the Champions League. I'd probably just give them the favourites for winning this match, but you can't turn out Real Madrid or Real Madrid. They can come up and do something amazing. It's incredible. But to beat Toulouse look like, yeah, whatever, it's PSG, we're not going to win them. They've got bigger games coming up, Toulouse, than Paris Saint-Germain. PSG probably will win Ligue 1 this season. Monaco are now up to 2nd after thrashing Auxerre, who are now, I think, in the relegation zone after this. So yeah, you expect Monaco to win. Monaco are not playing European fixtures now because they were awful in the Champions League group stages. I think they finished rock bottom of the Champions League group stages. So they have just got league games from now to the end of the season. So that's probably give them the advantage because Marseille and Lyon are playing in Europa League. So that gives them the advantage to, yeah, okay, we can definitely kick on and get 2nd now as those teams sort of playing Thursday, Sunday matches, which does affect your running for the top 4 for the Champions League places. A good win for Monaco to go up to 2nd in the league. Marseille who played Saint-Etienne, who were, I think, leading this game, but again, Saint-Etienne, who have been excellent in recent games, come back and got a point in this game. It was a very good point for them as well, because they needed just to keep the momentum going and try and get more points so they can stay in the league for another season, which I think they will now. I think they got enough at the minute to stay up. Marseille has 2 points dropped, and maybe it's between them and Lyon who will get the last Champions League spot. And speaking of Lyon, they lose in a very controversial manner. They lose 2-0 to Rennes, and what can I say? Lyon should have a penalty. I have no idea how the fuck the referees can see this, and I keep saying this, please will VAR come in as possible. Can VAR come in soon rather than later? And because that was the most blatant penalty you've ever seen. Fekir didn't get it. I think Fekir was arguing with the linesman. He got a yellow card. I think maybe one Lyon player got a yellow card as well. So that doesn't really help him as well. But it's between Marseille, for me, I think it's between Marseille and maybe Lyon who gets that last Champions League spot. I think Monaco just maybe have enough in hand to finish 2nd. And the last game is Bordeaux making 3 wins in a row under Gus Poyet. They won 3-2. And let's just say Malcolm is definitely making a difference since Poyet's come in. So obviously maybe Malcolm, maybe he's just sort of maybe they want to be here, maybe want to go in the giant transfer window. And maybe Gus Poyet saying, you may get your move in the summer, but try and get this team in the league and maybe go up. But since Gus Poyet's come in, Malcolm's been different class. He looks like the player that we all think he's going to be. And yeah, good win for them against relegation fighting Amiens. And I think a win for Bordeaux puts them at the 7th. And I think they'll be comfortably finishing mid-table, maybe even top half this season. So guys, this is how the Ligue 1 table looks now. PSG top of 65 points. Then it's Monaco who go above Marseille and Lyon. Then it's Marseille and then Lyon and rounded down to 4th. Then it's Nantes, Montpellier, Bordeaux, Rennes, Nice and ganged up. And at the bottom it's Caen, Dijon, Strasbourg, Saint-Etienne, Toulouse, Lille, Amiens, Angers, Troyes and Metz. And that is Ligue 1 after 25 matches. Not a lot of matches left in Ligue 1. It's going to be really tight who gets the Champions League places and who fights for relegation this season. So guys, stay on the Football Impact for this episode. If you have an amazing day, please like, subscribe, and outro. Peace out.